All right, yes, coming down onto your seat, yoginis, and setting yourself up so you have your block either for your head or a pillow, and then the second block under the shoulder blades. So those two blocks, mine are about 2 inches apart. Everybody's body's different and you may need to adjust. We're going to take our strap with a really big loop in it. So it's a big loop. You can see mine, it's at least 3 feet in diameter. We're going to put that over our head. Make sure that you have access to the buckle and make sure that you're able to lock it in place. We're going to take our strap, bring your feet to the ground, bring your strap between your legs, and then move your buckle so it's not straight out in front between your feet, but it's going to be a little off center. We don't want that buckle on our body putting any pressure. We're going to take our knees wide apart, bring the soles of the feet together, and then wrap the strap around your feet. I'm going to come this way so you can see. So strap goes over the head. It's behind the sacrum, the bony part. It's coming across the inner thighs, right at the hip flexors. Then we're going to bring the loop over our feet. Feet are together, knees are wide, and then tighten your strap. So taking any extra twists out of your strap so that you've got some comfort. And I don't have the buckle making contact with my bony ankle because that could hurt. We don't want to bring it as tight as possible because we have to still get down to the ground. I'm bringing my hips about a foot, maybe 9 inches to a foot behind the block that's going to go under my shoulder blades. Bring your hands down behind your back and then come down onto your forearms and then settle your shoulder blades down. If you've kind of missed it, you can lift up a little bit and then readjust, making sure that your entire shoulder blade, each one of them, is supported here. Using either a pillow or a block behind your head. And then adjust. So I have my block on the lowest level and it's a little too low for me right now for my neck comfort. So I'm going to bump it up to the second level. Some of you might even have it on the third level, the highest level. And then just inviting your legs to open wide. And then if you feel like your strap is too loose, you can find the tail of your strap, give it a little pull, and tighten it up. Beginning in this modified, it's sort of a cross between a fish shape and Supta Baddha Konasana, butterfly, reclined butterfly. Let your arms open out to the sides in any way that brings ease and comfort to your shoulders and to your upper back. I'm going to press down into the pinky edges of my feet, and I'm going to lift my hips just a hair, and extend my tailbone towards my heels to bring more length into my low back. So you might want to do that as well. We don't want to crunch our lumbar spine. And then once you find that shape that is sustainable for a little while longer, just let yourself land into the arms of Mother Earth, beginning to notice your breath, your natural breath, your breath that's coming in right now through your nostrils, and your breath that's naturally falling away. I'm going to mute everybody, but if for any reason you need to speak to me, to give me information, to ask a question, feel free to unmute yourself. Finding the natural flow of your breath. The breath rising and falling with ease. Let each inhalation wash over you, and each exhalation soften and release your body into the arms of Mother Earth a little more deeply. Let yourself be received by the earth and by your breath. Feeling that natural rhythm that connects us with all of life around us. Notice the parts of your body making contact with something solid underneath. Notice the spaciousness across your chest as each collarbone broadens towards the shoulders, away from the breastbone, so the breastbone can lift more fully, making more room for the lungs and the heart. Set your intention in this shape for today's practice. What might you like to open your heart to more fully, that perhaps your heart is even closed to? Like the blooming of tulips or blossoms in the trees or flowers during this time of year. What is your heart blooming to open to? Take one more full, easy breath. Feel the exhalation. Release your bones a little closer to the earth, the bones of the earth. The earth and our bones are composed of the same minerals. So we're going to start to come out of this shape, and we want to do this very mindfully so that we do it safely. So the first thing that you're going to do is wiggle your feet out of your strap. You might need to assist with your hands, and then roll onto the soles of your feet. Gently roll over to one side, bringing your top hand down to the ground, and then just scoot your blocks off to the side, out of the way. Come back down onto your back and feel your whole back releasing into the earth. You can keep the strap right where it is. It's around your waist, no worries. Just leave it there, just making sure you're not laying down on the buckle. Knees are bent, feet down, letting your whole spine settle. Finding the earth, the parts that were lifted are becoming more grounded. On your next inhale, bring your right knee into your chest. Wrap your hands around your shin and rotate your ankle in one direction and the other. Option 2, extend your left leg long, bringing the thigh bone down to the earth, back of the knee down to the earth. Flex your left ankle. Take another breath here. As you inhale, feel your thigh come closer to your belly, your ribs. As you exhale, press through your straight leg if you have straightened it. If it's bent, press down into your left foot. And then bend both legs if they're not already. Bring your feet down and hug your left knee in. Circle your ankle around. Noticing the snap, crackle, pops in both directions. Maybe extending that right leg long, pressing the heel forward for a long stretch through the hip flexor, through the calf, pointing the toes straight up on that right leg if you are straightening it, or pressing down into your right foot. Take one more deep breath here, maybe hugging left thigh closer to your ribs and belly. As you exhale, pressing the right foot forward or down into your mat if it's bent. Inhale, hug both knees into your chest. On your next inhale, prepare, wrap your hands around your shins. Exhale, lift your chin, lift your head, lift your shoulder blades, coming into a tiny little egg shape. Take one more deep breath here. Get really small. Lift your shoulders away from the mat. And as you exhale, let your head come down. And then bringing your right foot down to the ground, we're going to come into a spinal twist. So hug that right knee into your chest again. Press into your left foot and bump your hips just an inch or two to the right and let your leg fall over to the left. Spinal rotation. Open your arms wide and see if you can bring your right shoulder blade onto the mat. Left hand can come to your outer right leg. You can rest your right foot somewhere on your left leg or use a prop. Let your head roll to the right and breathe. Breathing into the right lung, more spaciousness, expanding the intercostal muscles between the ribs. And can you relax your top glute so that we're not clenching, tightening our SI joints, but creating more space on that right SI joint, that sacroiliac joint that fuses the outer right half of the pelvis to the sacrum. Take another breath here. Sigh it out. Let your right ear fall to the earth. Inhale, lift your head to center. Lift your knees. Bring your feet back onto the ground. And we'll switch to the other side. Pull your left knee into your chest. Flex your ankle. And then press into your right foot to lift your hips an inch or two. Slide them an inch or two to the left. And then carry that left knee over to the right. And then notice if you need more props. So we're asymmetrical in how we use our body and how our body lands into the earth. So we want to get that left arm down to the ground or onto props. We don't want to let one of our limbs just float in the air, float in space, creating strain in the joints. So bring support to that left arm. Bring support to your left leg if you need that. Or just resting your foot, left foot somewhere on that right leg. Right knee is bent. And then letting your head just fall over to the left side. Breathing into the left side, lungs, and relaxing the left glute to open up and create more space in the SI joint. Take another breath here. Sigh it out. Lift your head to center. Bring your knees back into center. One more big hug. Hugging in. Maybe adding that chin lift, shoulder lift, coming into that little egg shape again. And as you exhale, head down. If you lifted it, roll to your favorite side and come up in onto your hands and knees. So we're going to take that strap off of our body if you haven't already. And if you would like to pad your knees, your ankles, go ahead and take your blanket and bring it right under your knees and your ankles. Bring your blocks up to the front of the mat so they're on standby when you need them. And as you come into table, start your cat-cows. And then making sure that you are aligned first so that your shoulders are over your wrists. Spread your fingers wide apart. And then hips over knees. Knees, hips width apart. And I like to do this little measurement where we actually turn our fingers towards the midline so the elbows are on the outside of our body. And you bring your middle fingers to touch. And then once you have that measurement, spin on the heels of your hands to spin your fingers forward, bringing your middle fingers to center. Or some of us are going to slightly dial the fingers out a little bit wider to make more space in the chest. And as we find our cat-cows, making sure that we're lifted through the pit of the belly the entire time. So even in cow, the ribs drop, but the pit of the belly is still lifted, opening the chest, collarbones, sitting bones, and rounding into cat. Find a neutral spine. Take your right leg back behind you, straight leg, toes curled under, rooted into the ground. On your next inhale, lift your right foot, straight leg, extend your tailbone towards your back heel so you're not collapsing and lounging into your low back. Neck is long. Take a breath here, reach through the heel, lift through the pit of the belly. Exhale, knee to nose, round in. Inhale, extend the leg. Now watch this. Exhale, knee to your right tricep, above the elbow if you can get it there. Inhale, take the leg back again. Now this time a switch to the left. Look over your shoulder, carry your foot to the left, and bring the foot down. Press the heel back towards the floor. Look over your shoulder. Maybe you can see your foot. Nice stretch through the outer right rib cage. Keep the pit of the belly lifted. Inhale, take that leg back behind you. Exhale, knee to nose. One more time. Inhale, take the leg straight back. Exhale, knee to right tricep. Inhale, straight back. Exhale, over to the left. Look over your shoulder. Look at your foot. Inhale, take the foot back again. Knee down. So choices, either child's pose. Maybe you want to rest your arms and take your hands back by your feet, or downward facing dog, your choice. So if you're coming into down dog, toes curl under, press down into the hands, knees lift, and then press your hips back and up. If you're in child's pose, relax your shoulders. If you have compression in the knees causing any kind of pain or discomfort, bring your folded up blanket or a pillow to make more space between your legs, between the lower and the upper legs. One more breath here. And sigh it out. Table, or we're all going to meet in table. So whether you're in down dog or child's pose, come back up into table. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, take the left leg back behind you. Get long from the heel, tailbone back, reach through the sternum and crown of the head, and then lifting through the pit of the belly, lift your leg just parallel. Inhale, get as long as you can from sternum to tailbone, head to heel. Exhale, left knee draws in, knee to nose. Inhale, send the leg back. Exhale, bring it over to that left tricep. Touch your just above the elbow. Inhale, take the leg back. Exhale, bring it back into your belly. Inhale, take it back. Now carry it over to the right. Bring your foot down and look over your shoulder. press your heel away from your body. Keep your pelvis stable so we're not swiveling around on our pelvis. Take another breath here. Feeling the expansion on the left side of the ribs. Exhale, belly pulls in, leg reaches back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, knee to left tricep. Inhale, take it back. Exhale, carry it over to the right. Look at your heel, press it away. Belly to spine. Inhale, lift the leg back to center. Pull it into your chest. And then bring the knee down. Downward facing dog or child's pose. Your choice. Take another breath in, whichever shape you're in. Breathing and expanding through the back of the lungs. And then coming into table, we're all going to come down onto our bellies. So if the blanket is under your knees, you can move it and bring it under your pelvis if you'd like it there. And that just gives a little bit more space through the sacrum. Bring your hands along your ribs and hug your elbows in. Press down in through the tops of the feet. And can you turn your inner thighs up towards the ceiling to even get your pinky toe down? Bring your head down onto the mat and just let your shoulders collapse down towards the earth. I want you to just feel that letting go, that collapse in your arms, your shoulders. Long neck. Inhale, keep your head on the mat and just lift the top of your arm bones. Draw the shoulder blades in towards the spine. Lift up through the pit of your belly. Your head is still on the mat. And then inhale, lift your head. Shine your heart forward. Just come up a little bit, a couple inches, baby cobra. Keep your neck long as you look down towards your mat. Exhale, lower down, head touches. Let your shoulders fall down towards the earth. Inhale, keep your head down and just lift the top of the heads of your arm bones. Shoulder blades draw in. Now lift your head. Keep pressing through the tops of your feet. Tailbone reaches back, shining your sternum forward. Baby cobra, long neck. Exhale, lower. Keep the top of your arm bones lifted this time. Shine your sternum forward. Inhale, this time lift up, maybe lifting up a slightly higher, maybe lifting your thighs for up dog, shining your heart forward, broadening through the collarbones. Knees down if they're lifted. Send your tailbone back for one breath in child's pose. Inhale, lift your head, lift your hips. Come back into, we're all going to come into downward facing dog. If that is not your shape this morning, then stay in table for a couple more cat-cows. Take another breath here. And as you exhale, come forward into high plank. Everybody lifting your knees if you are in child's, or rather table. And then send your hips back. One more time, bringing more weight into the arms. Get long. Reach the tailbone back. Reach the sternum forward. Lift through the pit of the belly. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your head, bend your knees. Walk your feet and your hands towards each other. Come into a forward fold. Hands at your hips. Keep your heart open. And you can let your head go, but keep hands on hips. Take another breath here. Bend your knees generously so your thighs come right into your ribs, ribs down to your thighs. Inhale, lift up halfway. Reach your tailbone back, lift through the pit of the belly, and extend your sternum, long neck, crown of the head forward, coming into a half fold. Exhale, now let your arms go, forward fold. Take a breath in. Ha, let it go. Shake your head, yes, shake it, no. Inhale, hands to hips. Slowly roll up or come up with a halfway pause or come all the way up. If you're stopping halfway, then come on up. We'll meet here at the top of our mat. So walking to the top of your mat, go ahead and find yourself standing. Make sure your blocks are again on standby. Inhale, root into your feet, draw your tailbone down and reach your arms wide up. Let your right hand find your left wrist and lengthen the left side body as you fall right. Side bend, Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Inhale, press into your feet, reach up. Exhale, find your opposite forearm, left hand to forearm, and lengthen. Get long first before you fold. Opening through the right ribs. Press into your right foot, belly to spine as you lift back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, reverse swan dive. Come all the way back up. Exhale, hands to the heart. So from the top of your mat, bring your hands to your hips and step your right foot way back behind you. You might have to do a couple of different presses back, steps back, or a long step. And we're getting a nice hip flexor stretch on this right foot. Left knee stays over the ankle and make sure that you're nice and stable here. Lift your chest, open your heart. Lifting your sternum. Option 2, reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, lean forward, hinge at your left hip crease and get long from tailbone to crown of the head, and then reach your arms back behind so your fingertips are reaching back. The top of the arm bones are lifted. Think of baby cobra or up dog through the chest. Exhale, swing the arms forward, come all the way back up. Exhale, melt your elbows out to the sides, goalposts. Lift your sternum, look up. Exhale, hands to hips. Step the back foot up to meet the front. Maybe it's a long step, maybe it's a few baby steps. Other side. Inhale, lift your chest and then step your left foot back. Tap it back until you can find a long leg, back leg on the toe so the back heel is lifted. Some of us might want to come to a wall. Yes, we're balancing here. Maybe you take your right foot to the right a couple inches for greater stability. Back knee is slightly bent. Hands to hips, lift your heart. Maybe lift your arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, hinge at your hip creases. Take your right hip back and then swing your arms down and back. So you're reaching behind your sacrum. Keep your chest open. Inhale, swing the arms forward and up. Come all the way up. Bend your elbows, lift your chest. Lift, imagine the block is right under your shoulder blades and it's lifting into your upper back ribs. Exhale, lift your arms. And then take your hands to your hips and step back. Or rather up, back foot up. So nice, everyone. Coming to the top of your mat, we're gonna flow down. Inhale, sweep the arms wide and up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands can come to blocks. Step into your left foot, come onto the ball of your right foot. Look forward. Send your tailbone back, lift through the pit of your belly, and now slide your foot way back into a low lunge. Adjust your blocks so they're under your shoulders and bring your knee down. Again, we're getting a hip flexor stretch on that left side. Inhale, lift your chest. Use your blocks, maybe slide them right under. So we're lifting our torso to vertical, shoulders over hips. Come on to your fingertips here. Options, you can stay on your blocks or lift your arms up overhead. If your hands are on blocks, bring them to your hips. We're going to turn and twist to the left. So you can split your arms, taking that left arm back, right arm forward, or hands are on your hips, turning and twisting, looking over your shoulder. Inhale, come all the way back up. Open twist this time. So take your right arm down by your hip and then reach it back behind you. Open up your heart. So the hips are still going forward and we're just turning our torso from the navel, maybe looking over your right thumb. Same thing if your hands are on your hips. Keep pressing into your big toe mound of the front foot so your knee doesn't collapse into the midline. Inhale, reach the arms back up. Exhale, bring your hands down to blocks. Let your hips glide forward. And now take your hips back. Straighten your front leg, lift your toes. As you draw your outer left hip back and lift your toes, reach your heart forward. Relax your shoulders down the back, long neck. Deep breath in. Exhale, without rounding your upper back, can you fold over your leg a little bit more? Keep pressing the left hip crease back, left sitting bone back. One more breath. Exhale, maybe folding a little deeper for a hamstring stretch here. Inhale, lift yourself up. Press into your front foot. Move your blocks out of the way. Frame your front foot and then curl your back toes under. One more side twist. So I'm going to bring my block under my right hand. Try not to collapse into your shoulder joint and then reach your left arm forward. Turn and twist, open up. Back knee can stay down or lift it up. If it's lifted, press through the back heel. Exhale, swim that left arm back behind you. Find your mat or your blocks. And we're going to step back into plank. So some of us are going to bring our back knee down, untuck the toes, and take the left knee back to meet the right. Then lifting both knees, high plank, belly to spine. Take one more breath here. Exhale, send your hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Give your head a little shake, yes. A little shake, no. And then lift your head, look forward. Walk your feet up to the top of the mat again. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive. Take your time. Come all the way back up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Deep breath in. Let it go. One more breath. Noticing the experience you're having in your body in this moment. Heart rate, respiration, warmth. Inhale, swim the arms widen up. Exhale, swan dive down. Find your blocks, and then this time we'll step our left foot back, long lunge. Bring your knee down to the ground. So make sure that your knee is comfortable. So pat it if you'd like. And then walk yourself up onto the higher level of your blocks, if that's stable for you, to bring your shoulders over your pelvis. Let your hips glide forward, hip flexor stretch on the left side. Keep lifting up through your chest. Stay right here. Options, you can take your hands to your hips or reach the arms up to the sky. Take another breath here, maybe cactusing your arms, hands on hips, or cactus your arms, lift your sternum. Glide your hips forward. Inhale, reach up through your arms. Spinal twist. So we're going to take that right arm down by our hip and then swing it back like a pendulum. Left arm forward, maybe looking to your thumb, or hands on hips, turning at your waist, your ribs, your shoulders. Inhale, come all the way back up. Open twist this time. So take your left hand down and then turn from your navel, reach the left arm back, right arm forward, spinal twist, opening, maybe sinking a little deeper into your hips. Maybe your hands are on your hips, twisting from your belly, your ribs, your shoulders, your head. Inhale, come all the way back up, hands on hips, or reach the arms up. Exhale, hands down. Now we're going to straighten that front leg. Lift your toes. And then as we draw our right sitting bone back, can you reach your sternum forward? Can you press your shoulder blades into your upper back ribs? Take another breath here. Maybe deepening the hinge, the hip crease as you fold over your leg, trying to keep the leg straight-ish. Take one more breath. Can you get long all the way from tailbone through the sternum and the crown of the head? Exhale, fold. Now notice what's happening in the top of your arm bones. Stay lifted so the heart, the collarbones are broad. Inhale, lift back up. Bend your front knee. Let your hips glide forward. So either keep your left knee down or tuck your toes under and lift your knee. I'm going to bring a block on the lower level, lowest level under my left shoulder, and then reach your right arm forward. So we're extending from the back heel through the fingertips, and from that place, lift your heart, turn and twist. So the pelvis is staying somewhat neutral. Take one more breath here. Exhale, hand down. Look forward, and we're going to step the back foot up to meet the front. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Arms reach up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Let your arms rest by your sides. Take 2 more breaths. Keep your feet so that they're parallel. Lifting through your chest. Rolling the top of the arm bones back. Dropping your tailbone down, long neck. And just let your arms relax. One more breath here. Inhale, sweep the arms wide and up. You're right at the top of your mat. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Heart is reaching forward with your breastbone. Look forward without straining your neck. Soft bend in your knees. Hands down on something solid and step back into high plank. Keep your navel lifted. And from here, we're going to bring our knees down and bring that right foot back behind you. So we're in table with the right knee lifted. Kickstand your left foot to the left and roll over onto the big toe mound of your right foot. Opening up as we press down into the left hand. Draw the top of your left shoulder back so you're not caving forward. And then maybe you lift your top arm. Maybe you bend your elbow and hug into your low back. And then maybe floating that foot up off the ground, keeping it parallel. We want to prioritize the spine. Tailbone and sternum reach in opposite directions. Back heel, crown of the head, reaching in opposite directions. One more breath. Exhale, bring your foot down if it's lifted. Bring your arm over your head for a nice side stretch on the right side. Maybe lifting your heart Turning your heart, lifting your gaze. Bring your right hand down, right knee down. Bring your kickstand back down. Take a child's pose if you need that, or down dog, your choice. So listen to your body. If your arms need a rest, give your arms a rest, because we still have a half an hour of our practice left. So we want to reserve our energy. We want to sustain our practice to the end. So listen to what you need. And then go ahead and come back into table from child's pose or down dog. Other side, reaching your left leg back behind you. Pull your belly in. Extend from tailbone to crown of the head. Lift through the pit of your belly. Lift your foot. Kickstand your right foot off the mat. Roll onto the big toe mound of your left foot, and then bring your left hand to your hip. And then bring it to your sacrum. So bring the whole flat of your hands, fingers spread, into your sacrum, and lengthen your tailbone towards your heel. Turn your heart to the sky. We want to prioritize length in the spine and a little bit of a twist. You can keep your hand on your sacrum, or maybe fold your forearm, reaching your fingertips to your right hip crease, or maybe you lift the arm. Maybe you float the foot up. Keep the belly pulling in. One more breath here. Finding commitment to extend in all directions without collapsing into your bottom shoulder. Foot comes down, reach the arm, the bicep over your ear. Nice side stretch to the left side. Pull the belly in. And then bringing your hand down, left knee down, right foot back onto your mat. We're going to take a pause here and come into what some teachers call toe breaker. I don't really like that name. But we're going to stretch through the ball of the foot. You can bring your pillow or your blanket right between your thighs and your calves, and you can come right here. That little bit of space takes some of the pressure off of your heels. Some of us, that might be too much, so we're going to bring our hands onto our blocks right in front of us. We're all getting a stretch through the ball of the feet. Some of us might want more stretch. If that's the case, hands right on your thighs. If your knees are really, really healthy, you can move that pillow from your thighs and calves and just have a seat on your heels. Can you scoop your outer hips to the midline so we're not spilling out? Keeping a little bit contained. To take one round of Kapalabhati breath. Take a deep breath in through the nose and then out through the nose. Short, forceful breaths out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release, hands down onto something solid, blocks or your mat. Untuck your toes, give them a little tap. Stay right here, tapping your toes, maybe pressing the top of the feet down. Option only if you don't have any compromised knees. You can bring your hips to your heels, bring your hands behind you, lift your chest, and maybe lift your knees just an inch. This is just stretching the top of the ankles a little bit more. One more breath here. Lift your chest if you're taking this option, or you are maybe pressing one leg back, straightening your leg, pressing into the top of the foot, and then the other. And then we're all going to come back into table. So we all got that top foot stretch. Curl the toes under, lift through the pit of your belly, lift your knees, hips back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, lift your right leg. So I'm going to give options. You can lift your right leg And then you can pull your knee into your nose, round your upper back, bring your shoulders over your wrist. That's option 2. Option 1, bring your knee down, left knee down. Right leg reaches back with the left knee down. Or we're all going to bring that back knee to our tricep, our right tricep. Inhale, send your leg back again. Exhale, if you're in down dog, three-legged dog, bring your knee to your left tricep, cross the midline. If your knee is down, you're going to cross your foot over the midline and look over your shoulder. We've done this before. Wherever you are, inhale, send that leg back behind you, knee down, knee lifted, your choice. Exhale, foot down. Bring your knees down. Slide your hands to your thighs. So I want you to just watch, because I think it's helpful to just see those 2 options. This is going to be really important in a few moments, and you'll see why. So one option is that we are taking our foot back and we're pulling it into our chest, knee to nose, knee to elbow, tricep, and then taking the foot back and looking over the shoulder. So that's one option. Option 2, downward facing dog. Inhaling the leg back, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, leg back, cross the midline. Over to the left tricep. Inhale, lift, over to the right tricep. So we're crossing the midline, taking it back again. So we're going to go through that one more time on the left side. So you decide knees down or knees lifted for down dog. So here we are, find your shape, table. You're either in table or you're in down dog. Inhale, extend the left leg back behind you. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, take the leg back behind you again. Exhale, knee to your left tricep. Inhale, take the leg back. Exhale, either if your knee is down, take the leg to the right or knee to your right tricep. Inhale, take the leg back. Exhale. So nice, everyone, I can see. And everyone, feet down, knees down, and just take a moment. Stay in down dog. You can give your hips a little wiggle waggle or come into table, give your hips a little wiggle waggle or child's pose. We're all going to meet with the right foot between our hands. So some of us are going to keep the left knee down, step the right foot through, or take that right foot up in down dog and step it through. So we're all landing in the same place. Bring your back knee down and then hands to your hips. Hug your elbows in and lift up. Inhale, lift your left arm up to the, Lift your right arm up to the sky and then circle it back behind you. Come into that twist. We've been here before, hands on hips or the twist. Sink your hips a little closer to the front of your mat. And some of us are going to bring that right hand to our left thigh. Inhale, lift your chest. There's a little bit of a twist here. It's a twisted back bend, lifting through the heart. And then as you exhale, windmill your hands down. Make sure you have a block accessible on the lowest or the second lowest level. Back toes curl under, lift your back knee, and press down into your back heel. So I'm gonna turn myself around so you can see me, the front of my body. Back heel is down, a warrior foot. Hands to hips, rise up. Coming into warrior 2. Open your arms wide apart and sink a little deeper into your hips. Take another breath here. And as you exhale, bring your hands to your hips and straighten out your front leg. You're going to come into Trikonasana, but first revolve Trikonasana. Make sure your back heel is planted. That's our rudder and our stability. Front leg is straight-ish. All toes are pointing to the short edge of our mat. Inhale, lift your right arm. This is a side bend, so your collarbones are facing the long edge of your mat, and reach up and over. Back hand, left hand to your leg or your hip or your low back, reaching up and over. Exhale, reach forward, get long. Stay rooted into your back foot. Get really long here, and then bring your hand to your shin or maybe your block. So I said the lower because we're going to come into this shape a little differently, but we came in differently, so you might need to bring your block on the higher level. That's what I like. Top hand to your sacrum. And then can you spin? Can you bring your right hip crease back and your left hip bone down so that our pelvis stays neutral and we're just turning from the torso? Keep your hand on your sacrum or lift your arms, stacking your shoulders for Trikonasana. Can you tuck your right butt cheek underneath so that it's really tucked in as you reach down through the back heel. Get long from tailbone to sternum. One more breath here. So nice, everyone. Exhale, bend your front knee and come all the way up, hands on your hips. Spin your toes forward to the long edge of your mat, all 10, for a couple of twists. So some of us, in fact, let's all just bring a block to the inside of our feet. Some of us are going to use that block. We're going to come into some moving twists. So hug your outer ankles in, lift the arches of the feet, hug your outer hips in, like squeezing a toothpaste tube, get longer through the side waist. Hands on hips, reach that right arm up to the sky. Keep your pelvis straight forward, and then just turn and twist from your navel, and then reach long on a diagonal with your right arm. Take your right hand to the block or your left foot. Get long through your torso. Reach the crown of the head forward, tailbone back. Exhale, pull belly to spine, come on back up, right hand to hip, lift up, other side. Inhale, left arm lifts. Keep your pelvis neutral and stable, and just turn from your waistline, your ribs to the right, and then reach on a diagonal. Reach, and then bring your hand to your block or your foot or ankle. Keep spiraling your heart to the right, but keep your pelvis neutral. So keep your left hip crease reaching back. You can lift your top arm if you'd like. One more breath. Exhale, hand down to your hip if it's not already, and lift all the way back up. So nice, everyone. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, take your hands back behind your spine. Bring your right arm on top of your left. So your right hand is reaching your left forearm, upper forearm, or the elbow, the inner elbow. Your left hand is reaching your right elbow. Lift your chest, roll the top of the arm bones back. Exhale, forward fold. Take another breath here. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Keep the top of your arm bones lifted and come all the way back up. So nice, everyone. And then release your hands by your sides. So from here, we're simply going to turn our left foot to the short edge of our mat, the other side. And we're going to come into Trikonasana from here. So once again, have your blocks on standby on the outside of your right foot or the inside. Spin your back heel back, find warrior two. Open your arms wide. And we're spinning our rib cage and our collarbones to the long edge of our mat while we keep our hips neutral. Make sure the front knee is tracking the middle of your ankle and it's not caving into the midline, collapsing the arch of the foot. Reach through the back heel, long back leg, open your arms, and then straighten your leg for revolve triangle. Turn your right thumb down and bend your elbow, reach into your low back, and then lift that left arm up. This is a side bend, so press into both feet. Get long on the sides of the waist as you reach that left arm back. Exhale, reach forward, forward, forward. Hips stay somewhat neutral. Of course, they're going to be moving, but we want to try to keep the left hip crease reaching back and the right hip bone forward and down. And we're just twisting from the chest, hand on your shin, your thigh, maybe your block. We're prioritizing length, tailbone through the sternum, through the neck, crown of the head. So you can keep your right hand on your sacrum. You can let your fingertips find your left hip crease, or you can lift your arm. You decide. We can take those different options and build. The arm lifted is not necessarily the deepest pose. We get more opening through the chest when we have the arm behind the back. Bend your front knee, pull your belly to spine, lift all the way up, hands to hips, spin your left toes so that they're facing the long edge of your mat. You might want to move your blocks again to the insides or the outsides of your feet. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, this time, find the opposite. So left thumb down, come into your low back, and then bring your right arm. So we're switching our grip so that the left hand is reaching the top of the right forearm or the inner elbow, right hand to left elbow. Lift your chest, open up. Keep lifted as you forward fold. So we're trying to stay in cobra through the upper body. Long neck, forward fold. Take another breath here. Stay here. Option 2, switch your grip so your hands come together, heels of the hands together, and then slide your thumbs along your sacrum. This is one option, or fist bump, bringing the knuckles of the hands together, staying lifted through the heart. Maybe lifting your hands away from your sacrum. You can use a strap here. Take one more breath. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, belly to spine, lift up halfway. Bring your hands to the sides of your hips, hug your elbows in, long neck. One more breath here. Exhale, press into your feet, squeeze your outer hips to the midline as you slowly lift up. Coming back to center. Spin your heels into the midline. So if you didn't need those blocks, or whether you use them or not, go ahead and just set them aside. We're coming into a goddess shape. So the heels are in, the toes are out. As we drop our tailbone down, again, as always, pelvis is neutral. So drop your tailbone straight down, open your knees wide over your ankles, not collapsing in or going so far out you're rolling on the outer, the pinky edges of your feet. Hands to hips. Stay here, lift through your chest. Tailbone reaches towards the earth. Sternum lifts towards the sky. Or lift your arms into that cactus shape. Take another breath here. Exhale, keep the legs right where they are and then just tip, side bend over to the left. Keep the shape of your arms. Inhale, lift up through center. Exhale, side bend right. Keep the knees wide apart. Inhale, lift, straighten legs, straighten arms, reach up. Exhale, hands to hips. Keeping the legs right where they are, feet, same shape. So from here, we're just gonna bend the right knee and then come onto the ball of your foot, lift the heel. Bring the heel down, straighten the leg. Right heel lifts, bend the knee. Keep a lot of weight in your opposite leg, that's the left, so we're not putting any strain on this right knee. And then bring that heel back down. So nice, everyone. Drop your tailbone, open both knees. Options, lift your left heel, bring it down. Right heel lifts, bring it down. Maybe you lift both heels. Maybe you lift your arms. Take one more breath here. And then sink your hips, tongue out. Roar. Hands to hips, or everyone bring your heels down and then straighten your legs. We're gonna do one more little bit of goddess and then we'll move into our final little sequence and then we'll chill. So bend your knees again, hands to thighs this time. Keep your sternum lifted, tailbone straight down, knees open wide. Take a breath in. Exhale, turn and twist your torso to the left. And then let your right shoulder come forward, look out over your left shoulder. You can sink a little deeper into your hips. Inhale, come back up, straighten your legs if you need to, and then rebend, otherwise stay here. Exhale, turn and twist to the right, and then let your left shoulder come forward, look out over your right. Inhale, forward. Straighten legs and arms, reach out into five-pointed star. Exhale, hands to hips. Turn your toes to the midline. So they're pointing straight ahead. And then you can either jump, bend your knees, jump the feet together, or walk your feet together. Do what is safe for your body. Come back to the top of your mat. For our final little sequence, we're going to put a few things together. And actually, I just want you to watch me first, and then you choose your choice. So just watching for a moment. So just like before when we were either choosing table or down dog, it's going to be the same thing. If you're choosing table, you'll extend one leg behind you, lift the leg, pit of the belly lifts, all those details we've done before. Knee to nose, extend back, knee to tricep, extend back, knee carries over to the side, look over your shoulder, inhale back, knee to nose, and you just keep doing that. Option, oh, sorry, my bad. You don't keep doing that. You do that one time, and then you come back, leg back, come onto the inside of the foot. We've been here before, and come into the side bend, side plank, modified side plank. So that's one option. The other option is you can come all the way up and find this nice heart opening. So those are one or two options, here, or you lift up to here. Or if you're going to work in down dog, hips are lifted, we'll extend a leg, pull the knee to the nose. Actually, I'm going to switch my sides just because I want you to be able to see where my leg is going. Okay. So we'll lift a leg, knee to nose. lift, reach back, knee to tricep. Reach back, cross the midline to the opposite tricep, and then extend the foot. Falling triangle. Come onto the inside edge of your back foot. Make sure your wrist is in front or right under your shoulder, and then you can peel your heart open, lifting your hips. If you've got a lot of shoulder, if you've had a shoulder injury, to come out of it, we pull that knee back in, extend back. We're all going to take a rest before going to the other side, okay? So go ahead, table or downward facing dog. And I'm trying to give the same direction, the same instructions for either option, and I'll just add a little bit more. So from down dog or table, extend your right leg back. So let your chest, keep your chest open. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, extend the leg back. Exhale, right knee to right tricep. Inhale, extend the leg back. Exhale, cross the midline if you've got your knee down, or you're doing the same thing and extend your leg. So just like I demonstrated for falling triangle, coming onto the inside edge of your back foot, lifting up. If you have your knee down, you're coming into that side plank, or you're lifting up. And then everybody, bring your knee back into your chest. Make sure your hands are down. So find the transition that you need, and then extend your back leg back again. Knee down. Everybody, knees down. Rest into child's pose. Let your hands come back by your feet. Rest your shoulders. 3 breaths here. So I'm going to come close so I can see some of you. All right, so coming back into down dog or table for the other side. Choose your option. Inhale, extend your left leg back behind you. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, send the leg back. Exhale, knee to your left tricep. Send the leg back. Exhale, right tricep, where you're sending the leg out to the right, looking over the edge. And then if you're in down dog, extend that left leg, and then coming onto the back, the pinky side of your back foot, opening up to falling star. If you're coming into side plank, you have the option to lift your arms and find side bend over your leg. Inhale. So if you're in falling star, bring your knee back to your chest and then extend your leg back. If you're working from table, bring your knee down. Everybody, child's pose or any other shape your body's asking for. So nice, everyone. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, let your breath go. And make your way onto your back. I see one person's there already. And then hug your knees into your chest. Rock a little side to side. I'm not going to invite you to do happy baby unless you really want that, just because we've already done a lot of hip opening. Just keeping your knees together, rocking left and right. And then make your way into your final shape, slowing down your heart rate, slowing down your breath. If your body's calling for any other shape before your final rest, Shavasana, then take that time. This is your practice. Finding the shape that supports you, using your props as needed. Legs up the wall. I see at least one of you is taking that option. Beautiful option. Let your whole body settle. Let your body yield to the hug of gravity. No effort. In our yoga practice, we find that balance between effort and surrender. And this is true of life, all of life. Finding that sweet center between just enough effort so that we're not striving, we're not killing ourselves to reach some goal or reach some destination. Just enough effort, but also the surrender so that we can enjoy the ride. We can enjoy the journey along the way. So we can smell the flowers so that we can bloom with what's around us. So we can feel the thread that we are woven into the great tapestry of all life, the plant life, plant world, the animal world. Let yourself fall in to the sweet surrender. No effort now. Feeling the sweetness of your breath. Somewhere, a black bear has just risen from sleep and is staring down the mountain all night in the brisk and shallow restlessness of early spring. I think of her, her black fists flicking the gravel, her tongue like a red fire touching the grass, the cold water. There is only one question: how to love this world. I think of her rising like a black and leafy ledge to sharpen her claws against the silence of the trees. Whatever else my life is, with its poems and its music and its glass cities, it is also this dazzling darkness coming down the mountain, breathing and tasting. All day I think of her white teeth, her wordlessness, and her perfect love. Begin to deepen your breathing and decide to stay here longer, as long as you would like. Letting your ears open to the sounds, the vibrations around you of life in action. Beginning to bring some effort if you're ready to come out of Shavasana. Moving your body gently, maybe head falling side to side. Pulling knees into chest. And falling to your favorite side and coming all the way back up to your seat. Taking your time to get there. Hands on your legs or at your heart. Sensing this new shape that your body is in. The shape we have not entered into in our practice this morning. So feel the groundedness, that hug of gravity, and feel the reaching like the stem of a flower from its roots in the earth, rising up towards the light, the sky, the fresh spring air, opening its blossoms. We'll end with a chant of Om. Deep breath in and out first. Feel the sternum lift to your thumbs if your hands are at your heart. Deep breath in to chant. Ah. The light in me honors the light in each and every one of you beautiful yoginis.